Today, let's talk about 3%. Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I wanted to talk about 3%, and I'm sure a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about, but there's a bunch of you who probably don't know what I'm talking about. And so 3% is something that happens in the game. Basically, there is always a 3% chance that something can be resisted outright regardless of accuracy and regardless of resistance. You've probably experienced this, and for those of us that have been playing for a while, we know about this thing, we talk about it, we comment on it all the time and say, oh man, I just got 3%'d, right? And it can be really frustrating, especially in certain fights and areas, right? So for Chimera and Hydra, 3% is very, very frustrating because there are times where you want to land a very, very specific debuff, right? So for example, on the Viper head of Chimera, you might want to land block active skill, but if it gets resisted, despite the fact that you have enough accuracy to land it almost all of the time, it can be really frustrating because that can cause you to have an entire wipe on your run. And if you manual it like I do, you could be 15 minutes into a run and have to start all over again because you got 3%'d. So it's a thing that can be quite frustrating. It's also frustrating in Hydra, for example, because on Hydra you have heads that you need to land certain debuffs like Hex, like Provoke, and these can be really, really annoying if they get 3% resisted because all of a sudden all your debuffs get cleared because you didn't land a Provoke or you didn't land Hex on the head, I think, of Mischief, and it eats one of your champions and now you can't attack it because it got 3% chance that it doesn't land Hex and it didn't land, right? So those can be really frustrating. Listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. And I mostly wanted to bring attention to it because I think with this account, or with this channel, I have done a lot of new player content, a lot of stuff along those lines, and it can be something that players don't know and maybe don't understand and might actually go so far as to say, oh wow, that got resisted, I need more accuracy, rather than understanding like, no, you have enough accuracy, it got resisted because of a 3% chance. And I've had such bad luck where I seriously looked at it and been like, okay, is it really 3%? Because that happened way too many times to be 3%, and I checked my accuracy's fine, right? So stuff like that, it's a frustrating part of the game, but it can happen. While we're talking about it, I kind of want to talk about one thing that I really, really like about the Hell Hades website. So if you just type in Raid Stages tool in Google and then click on it, you're going to come in here, and I've talked about this before on the channel, but again, this is for newer players that maybe don't know that this exists. So let's say that you saw something get resisted on a fight and you're not sure if it's a 3% or if you just need more accuracy. What you can do here, you can go in and you can say, okay, clan bosses. Oh, no, that's regular clan boss. So you can say, okay, Chimera, pick your rotation that you're in, and then you can say, okay, I'm doing Ultra Nightmare. How much accuracy do I actually need? You can come in here and you can see. So it tells you at the top here, the numbers in orange are the recommended value to negate the opposite. So if you see their resistance here is 400, they recommend 425 accuracy for the ultimate form, 475 for Ram, 425 for Lion, and 450 for Viper. So overall for the fight, in total, you want to be at 475 accuracy. And so this is a great tool that you can use to make sure that you have enough accuracy and you don't really have to worry about anything other than a 3%, right? So those can be really, really good tools So, but yeah, it's something in the game. I have had a really hard time just finding it. Like, it's not, maybe you guys can tell me where it's listed or where it's posted. This is something I found on Reddit of all places. It wasn't really something that I found in the game or in the resources provided to us. So, and true, yeah, it's something I found through the community as well, through players being like, oh, you got 3%. And this applies everywhere in the game. One other note, there are some champions that this doesn't apply to, and these are very, very important things. Now, I'm not going to list off all of the champions. I'm just going to list off the ones that really come to mind right away. And Siphi is one of those that comes to mind right away. So Siphi has it's 100% chance when booked, placing sleep debuff. This debuff cannot be resisted. This is a big deal. In fact, I know Cheap Vodka, I talk about him all the time. He was not happy with my comment in one of my most recent videos, but I'm going to compliment him here, where he has a Sand Devil team that actually functions by utilizing Siphi and her A1 sleep, which is 100% and unresistible, which means it can't be 3%ed. So if you were to try to build a team for Sand Devil, I think a lot of us, including myself, use like a Newt Godseeker team or a Godseeker and whatever damage dealer team. But higher end players that have a Siphi will use a Siphi team where she sleeps Sand Devil right away and then comes in with really big damage nukes and blows up the Sand Devil very, very quickly. A lot quicker than what a Newt Godseeker team is capable of doing, right? So it's just one of those things where, you know, being able to, now that team wouldn't be 100%, it would only be 97% good if the sleep that you're using is resistible, because there is that 3% chance all of the time. But an unresistible sleep is gonna fix that, right? And I have this problem even now. I recently made a video talking about Admiral Black Tusk and using him in Fire Knight, right, in place of Lady Mikage, and that team has proven to be pretty effective. This is a team right here. I made a video about it already, but one of the problems that I have with it is that I get really down to the wire and I need certain debuffs to land or I will fail. I need Thor's decreased speed to land. I need these guys to land their A1s to reduce the turn meter of Fire Knight. And if I get 3%ed on any one of those things, the run will fail. So I have a 97% win rate against Fire Knight. And this was the same problem that I had with Lady Mikage as well. Admiral Black Tusk, I was hoping would mitigate that a bit because his ally attack is up more often. But so far that hasn't been the case. I need to improve speeds in order to kind of mitigate that. So, but that's a project or maybe even a video for another time, but it kind of just represents where that 3% problem can come into play. And I just wanted to make a video for you guys to know that if your teams are 97%, probably related to the 3% issue. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think certain bosses shouldn't have it. I think it's great for PvP, adds a little bit of RNG, adds a little bit of luck in there. So, you know, how awesome is it when like you get a 3% against an Armans and you resist the stun, right? That's or the turn meter reduction, you know. That's always kind of interesting moments that are kind of unique, but I don't think it's really useful for certain boss fights like Chimera and Hydra, and that's one of the reasons why I run them on manual so often, is because if something gets 3%ed, I'm cooked, right? And I don't want to have to come back from an auto run and find out that, oh man, yeah, I could have had a really good score, but this got 3%ed and I died on the first wave of Viper. It just sucks. So, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's part of the game. I'm not complaining about it, right? I'm simply saying that it can be really annoying for me personally, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is something that's in the game. It is something that's unique. So now you guys know about it if you didn't already know about it. And feel free to let me know in the comments if there's any other kind of unique instances or things about the 3% rule that I forgot to mention. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Take care.